Hi everyone, Dr. Lisa, Dr. Britt.
Hi guys.
And we're here from Errol Street Chiropractic. And we're talking feet today.
We are.
Flat feet, in fact. And we're going to go through 5 red flags to see if you or someone that you know has flat feet. So great for you to check on the family members, partners, kids, if you aren't sure if they've got flat feet.
Yeah.
So you might want to check if they've got pain in the foot or ankle. And we see problems with feet causing all sorts of pain.
We definitely do, yeah.
Going from knee to hip to lower back. So if you've got any of these issues and you're not sure if it's coming from those feet, then stick around. We're going to go through those 5 red flags in a moment. So now why are these feet so important? I mean, you know, if you think about it, they hold us up.
They definitely do. They're our foundations.
Absolutely. And people kind of think, oh yes, you know, arches in the feet, what are they? So I'm actually going to tell you exactly what they are, because it can get a little bit confusing, because a lot of people, when they think arches, they only think of the inner arch.
It's the most obvious arch when you look at your feet, yeah.
And because you get, you know, the shoes are built up with that little bit of inner arch. But in fact, there are how many arches, Dr. Britt?
There's 3.
3 arches. I feel like kindergarten.
I know, 3 guys.
There's 3 arches. So we have the inner arch, obviously on the inside, and then we have 2 others. So we've got the lateral or the outside arch on the outside of your foot, okay? And then we've got the one across the ball of your foot, which is called the transverse arch. So they form really a triangle, you know, as you can see there. Now, the reason we need that arch is really for stability, okay? It's a shock absorber. So when those arches are formed nicely, they'll actually create that nice shock absorption for your body weight and then for the activities that you do. They also help you to propel. So when you're walking and running and doing your activities, they will help you to kind of, you know, get moving. So that's pretty important. And they're obviously, with the 3 arches and that flexibility, then they help you to walk on uneven ground as well.
They help you distribute your body weight evenly through your feet.
Yeah, they
really
help you to bear your weight.
Yeah,
exactly.
yeah.
So for that stability and that support, and for supporting that body weight. So really, really important that these arches are formed and are working well, because otherwise, as I said, we're going to see problems with feet and ankles and knees and hips and the rest of the spine. It does have an effect all the way up, because, you know, that's what your weight is on, those feet. Now, a little telltale sign for you guys is, you know, when you're at the beach.
Yep.
So if you see your footprint on the sand, then what you should see is just a footprint from the forefoot, and then a print at the back from the
almost
heel.
like the toe prints and that little circle of your heel. That's all you should get when you make that imprint.
Nothing in the middle, and that's where your arch should be. So if your arch is formed nicely, we shouldn't have an imprint on the sand. And also when you're coming out of the shower, if you've got a wet foot, onto your bath mat, we should have, you know, a circle around the forefoot and a circle around the
That's
heel.
a good test to do at home if you don't have the beach close by.
No. That's true, Dr. Britt. So you can check that. But let's run through those 5 red flags for you to see if you've got flat feet. So the first one is a particular walk that we see with people with flat feet or flat foot. Generally, we find that if they've got 1 flat foot, they've usually got 2, and maybe one is worse than the other. So we have a thing called foot flare. So they walk with this foot flare. So instead of the toes sort of being in front of the ankle, they flare out a little bit to the outside. Okay. So here's some shoes. So you know, people are walking, and we wanted to. Dr. Britt rolled up her pants for you guys.
I was all set to show you, but I
can't
get my feet in. But yeah, it's that walk where you see your toes flaring out to the outside instead of being nice and neutral in the midline.
Okay, so you can see that with the kids or partners. It's a bit hard to see that on yourself.
Yeah, get someone to, you know, do a bit of a walk at home tonight or in the office, and get someone to have a look at the way your feet are sitting when you're walking as well.
Absolutely. And the next thing is your knee cap. So if your feet are rolling in, what that will do is it actually start to create some rotation or twisting of those knees inwards. So, you know, if you really want to be a bit of a scientist here, You can get a ruler,
Yep.
okay, and if you
I think
can...
you'll get my knee in there.
No, I don't think
But
we will,
You
but...
get to the midline of the kneecap.
And drop that down, that ruler straight down, and the bottom should actually end up at that second toe. So it should end up, if you can see that, that's that second toe. So from the midpoint of the knee down there. But if your feet are flat, then that ruler will end up sitting more on the inside of that foot, or
Especially
more
if
over that.
Feet are rolling as well.
Yeah, so if your feet are rolling in, then that you'll actually see the knee rotating, and then you'll see that plumb line or that ruler sitting more on the inside of that second toe over that first toe, or on the inside of the first toe if it's really, really bad.
And that if that is happening for you, you'll really find that you'll have quite a tender spot on that medial, that inside part of your knee. That's always a really tender spot because your knees are rolling in. It's putting a lot of pressure through there. So that's a big one too. Have a feel of that spot and see if that's tender for you.
Yeah, that's a really good telltale sign, that one there. Now, the other thing that we see, if we turn someone around, okay, so we're looking at the back now, then the Achilles tendon that goes from the calf down to the foot, should normally be straight. Okay, so if we have flat feet, so the foot is rolled in, then all of a sudden we've got a bend in that Achilles tendon, and that can lead to tendonitis, Achilles tendonitis, all sorts of problems there as well. And that's really not comfortable. So you can definitely have a check of that one. That one's a really nice one, an easy one to see as well. Now the other one is, really look at that foot, and you'll be able to see that those arches are looking really flat. So just observe those arches. Should be able to get your finger fairly easily in on the inside.
That's a good way of having a look.
But flat feet, you're really going to struggle. And some are obviously worse than others, and some are what we call, pancake feet.
Where there's a partner with pancake feet if he doesn't have things in his shoes.
And not much spring in that foot there. Okay, so the last thing is just check this one. You can do yourself. So check your shoes. So your shoes, now we're checking shoes that obviously aren't too new, and it's a bit harder to see with runners. So kind of more your work shoes.
Yeah.
Now what happens is that they will wear on the outside. So the outside of the shoe will wear more than the inside. So you'll have that uneven wear because and actually someone said to me, well, that doesn't even make sense.
Yeah.
Because if your foot is flat, why isn't the inside of your heel?
Which makes,
it makes sense.
Yeah.
But your body's compensating, so you'll end up hitting on the outside of your shoe to try and create a little bit of bounce for that foot that is flat.
And take pressure off those tender spots as well that do build up on that inside.
So that was very insightful of that patient. So it's the outside of your shoe. So do have a little check of that. And what we do here in the office, Dr. Britt, is, we check feet. We check feet a lot. We definitely do. It's part of our assessment, and if we have a feeling that there might be a pronation or a flat foot or feet issue, then we actually get them to jump on our foot leveler scanner, which is a 3D digital scanner, which really shows us if there is a true flat foot.
Shows all the pressure that's going through the feet when they are standing and weight bearing. Yeah, it's a really good way of us assessing and prescribing them orthotics for their shoes as well. Yeah.
And we then organise some foot leveler orthotics to really just get that foot neutral again, and allow that foot to be doing its job of creating shock absorption, mobility and stability, and bearing that weight evenly. And because it helps the lower back, which we get a lot of lower back issues coming in, but it helps the obviously, as we keep saying, the foot, the ankle, the knee, the hip. And it's really important to have that foundation that's nice and level and stable. One really quick study that I came across, and it was looking at the problems with feet with pronation and lower back pain. So they had 3 groups. We had in the study, there was over 200 people in the study. So they had chronic lower back pain. Some of them had no treatment.
Yep. So that was group 1.
Group 1. Second group had the foot level orthotics, and the third group had the foot level orthotics and chiropractic care. Now, the group that did the best was actually the one who had the foot leveler orthotics and the chiropractic care. They had a 40% improvement in their lower back pain.
Which is awesome. Yeah, especially if it's a chronic condition, to have that, improvement in that time is really good.
But the really interesting thing as well was that the group that just had the foot levelers had a 35% improvement in the lower back pain. So you can see, you know, it does create a lot of problems in that lower back.
Yeah.
So it's just that rolling that goes from the feet to the knees to the hips, and then that will create some instability in that lower back. So it is so important, guys, that you know, get those feet checked. Dr. Britt, what do they do if they're not sure?
Well,
if they've got an
if
issue?
you're unsure, do some of these tests at home tonight. If you're noticing that some of these issues that we've gone through are actually popping up for you, give us the call, send us a message, and you know, we'll organise a time for you to come in and we can assess your feet as well. So if you're not even sure after doing that, just come in and see us and we can have a look, because there's always, you know, flow-on effects. Even if your feet you know, are a little bit flat, you're always going to find there'll be other issues that will be popping up through your spine as well.
Yeah.
And I was going to say, I notice a huge difference if I don't have my, because I have foot levelers, and I notice a huge difference if I don't have them in my shoes. It's pretty amazing the changes that it does make. So it is important to make sure your feet are stable, because they're your foundations for the rest of your spine to be balanced. So
absolutely. Beautiful. So give us a call, 9329 118. You can message us, private messages, if you've got a question for us. But let us know if you've liked our video. Just let us know by hitting that little like button there. And guys, happy feet until next time.